Hey everybody, MSOM 602 Lesson 2 recap this week, coming to you from the Hoh Rainforest on the Olympic Peninsula in the state of Washington. This is one of the greenest and probably wettest spots in North America. They receive about 140 to 170 inches of rain per year. And that's right, I did say 140 to 170. It's a beautiful place here. If you ever get a chance to come, make sure that you do that. Well, Lesson 2 is wrapped up now, and you had 3 things in Lesson 2. You had a discussion board, a case study, and then the outline for your course project. So I'm going to take each one of those and talk about those in particular. The discussion board this week really focused on a definition. It focused on the definition between critical thinking and strategic thinking. And I find that this one is one that is a challenge for many people with a business background, because they immediately go to strategic thinking and they begin to look at strategic plans and all the things that are necessary with that. But strategic thinking and critical thinking are different. And so I ask you, if you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, make sure you take a chance, make sure you take a look at the post that I had in the discussion board this week, because it provided a couple of blogs that I found that I've really used a lot to identify the difference between strategic thinking and then critical thinking. And then the second thing, this was another case study that's a little bit weird this week because it's about you again. The rest of them will not be about you, they'll be about different concepts. But it really talked about 2 different things. It talked about the challenges between people who think unrealistically and people who think too narrowly. And again, you'll find those in business. They'll be on total opposite ends of the spectrum. You may have someone on your team who frustrates the fire out of you because when you're presented with a problem, they start throwing out all these grandiose ideas. And you may be that analytical type who says, nope, that's not going to work. There's no way that'll work. And the challenge that you have in an analytical thinking perspective is that you may think too narrowly on a topic. So if you think about Amina's story, for example, if you'd had someone in there who would have thought way too narrowly and said, there's absolutely no way we can get this young lady back to the United States, she probably wouldn't have made it. She may not be here today. But if you didn't have the combination of those 2 people, someone who thinks narrowly and someone who thinks very broadly, coming together to work together to solve a problem, if you didn't have those 2, then you would have been in trouble. And so that's a great application as you begin to look at Amina's story this week. And as you begin to apply those, and then maybe you're going into a meeting this week and you have somebody that has presented a problem to you. You may, if you're an analytical thinker, don't think too badly about that person who may think very, very broadly. And then if you're very broad, don't think that other person is just being way too focused and way too streamlined in their thinking. It takes both of you to come together to make sure that you come up with a very good solution. And then finally this week, the course project. The course project really had you focus on an outline, and the outline is important. I always like to do outlines for projects, and the reason that I do is because I don't like to get started on a project unless I know where it's going to end up. And so think of your project outline as your roadmap that's going to take you over the next few weeks down through Amina's story. So you'll need to look at what's in part 2 that's doing lesson 4, and you need to look at what's in part 3 that's due in lesson 7. Put all of those things together into your outline. I made several comments on your outlines this week, so make sure that you take a look at those, and hopefully those will be very helpful. So pardon my finger coming towards you very quickly here, but you have a great week, and I'll talk to you again in lesson 3.